This video is sponsored by Satyabama Institute of Science and Technology.
Little Talks like பண்ணுங்க, ஷேர் பண்ணுங்க, சப்ஸ்கிரைப் பண்ணுங்க.
Hi, this is Deepika from LittleTalks. In this episode of Chat with Dee, we have Pratisha Prashant. Hi, ma'am.
Hello.
How are you, ma'am?
I'm doing good. Yes.
Yes. So the first question itself, I would love to ask, how surreal it is to be part of this magnum opus, Ponniyin Selvan.
Yeah. So, actually, I've been asked this question over and over again, but
Yes,
I always tell that when we were going through the process, of course, we got into the project with Mani sir's name, and when we got to know that he was doing it, so we took the plunge with his name. But when we were going through the whole process, because we were going through at COVID times, and we did a lot of shooting during that time, and also probably at that time it was just a feeling that we wanted to complete the project, because there were lots of ups and downs, as in, the project was taking longer because of lockdowns and all. But when the part one was going to release, and when we saw the trailer for the first time, it was like I had goose skin, and I could remember every moment that we took in the preparations, and in the because a lot of so many characters, so many different looks for the men, for the women, and all that, so yeah, it was like a tedious process, and I'm very happy that it has worked out. So Mani sir has captured everything so beautifully, and so aesthetically appealing, when they are on screen. When we are doing something like this, we always want to do the right thing. I don't think anybody tries to do it not wanting to do the right thing, but to really turn out so right, I think it's a great thing.
Yes. So what was your first thoughts on the approach? Like initially, okay, you should be part of this film. And of course, we have Mani sir's vision, but what difficulties you had faced? Like probably you would have done one thing. Of course, Mani sir would have given some inputs. What was those?
So actually, first, initially we were just approached as Eka Lakhani, who is the costume designer for this movie, she had approached us, because when she got a brief for the movie, she felt that the jewelry was a very important part of this, the whole look, especially because it was the Chola dynasty, and it had to be very traditionally correct, and so she approached us, and she approached us through Aditi Rao Hedri, because we are actually not greatly into films, and we haven't done anything like this before. So she approached us through Aditi, and Aditi's first she said it's just a period film without giving us names. And then we said, what type of period film, who are the actors, who are the characters, and all. So when after we had to sign an NDA, because like a non-disclosure, because it was in very initial stages. So when they told us it was Mani Ratnam, I just said yes without even asking
without any further
without any further interrogation. And of course, then they told us that it was this very famous novel by Kalki, which was Ponniyin Selvan. And to be very frank, I'm not a Tamilian, so I had not read the book before that. I just vaguely heard about it, but not really, read the book, or didn't know many characters, except the Raja Chola character. I knew that the book was on that. But then she said, of course, she said, oh, it's a multi-starrer, and, not many names were dropped to me regarding the main actors of the So because they were still in the process of, finalizing, we were approached very initially for it. I think other Aishwarya Rai and, maybe a couple of male actors, not many were finalized at that time. Because they were also going through a lot of look test and, screen test of who will, be there and all. Yeah. So then once they said Mani Ratnam, and a little brief was given to us, we were on board. And
Yes.
then, of course, like we had to do our own research in terms of jewelry, because in terms of
Yeah.
a picturesque depiction, there is not much photographic evidence or picturesque evidence we
Yes.
have of that era. What we have is mainly the sculptures we see in the temples, and from the sculptures we can make out, what is the type of clothes they are wearing, what is like, whether it's a dhoti, whether they have a, like a angavastram, in terms of that. Even in terms of jewelry, we can make out, that they are wearing long chains and, things like that. But we did a small type of a research where, like, what are the type of trade routes that were available at that time, and we got to know that the Cholas were like, they were very they had trade routes even to Burma. So we
Okay.
know that rubies come out from there. So, we decided that we will use a lot of rubies in our jewelry, like what we call today, like
Yeah. My next question was actually that only, because
yeah,
nobody knows like what materials they use that
materials.
times. I
Yeah,
mean, know
yeah.
what
So
stones, gemstones.
yeah, what stones, gemstones, and all. So that we were given input from, because Mani sir had a team of historians working on the type of, because they were doing the sets and all. So what type of films will be used, what type of uh, motives can be used, because that type of brief was given to the costume department, to us, and to the set designing department, So
Yes.
that, and also we were given a brief as in what is surely that we don't want to do. So
Okay.
the Cholas, they were Shaivites, they were Shiva worshippers, they were not
Yes.
Vaishnavites.
Yes.
So we have not used anything, with a Vishnu motive or a Krishna motive, like a
Krishna motive.
Namam, like a Namam, like like now those things are very common in today's jewelry.
Yeah.
In today's jewelry, we see a lot of god motives in the jewelry,
Yes.
like we see a Lakshmi and we see a Ganesha, So we were not sure whether in those times people wore those type of things. So we have sure used those type of emblems. Yeah. So that way, we were a little careful. We were given that type of brief from Mani sir's team. And
Okay.
regarding the stones, which was your second question, next question,
Yes.
what
Yes.
stones and all they use. So we tried to research as in what were the type of trade routes, because either when we use some type of a raw material, either they have to be mined over there, or we have to get it from somewhere. So like I told you, we saw that, they had trade routes with Burma. So that's why we've used Burmese rubies, and we've taken little liberty, like, they were the kings, so people will come from far off places with some type of gifts. We have used more of rubies because we knew they surely had ties with Burma.
Burma. Okay. Okay.
Present day.
We didn't know this actually. Quite a good explanation for us also.
During that they didn't have relations, but during that empire, there was the Silk Route was already established, and
Yeah.
the Cholas had a very big fleet. Like, they had very good sea routes. So all this was given to us by Mani sir's team. They had done a lot of research. That's the reason why
Yeah.
they even went to Sri Lanka. That's a part of the movie if you have seen.
So yeah, my next question is that, I mean, like wherever we go, like Maniratnam sir will say a big thanks to Rajamouli sir, because one pioneer, like one example is Baahubali 1 and 2, wherein like, okay, we can take such big films. And since this film is also a periodic film, the jewelry used in Baahubali, we could see some sort of look-wise, not just the things they have used. Look-wise, it was so heavy. But when compared to Ponniyin Selvan, it was so elegant, and look-wise is quite completely different. And how do you compare these? I mean, like in sort of periodic film. Yes.
What Mani sir says, a thank to Bahubali, what he meant is that Mani sir has tried to make this movie even before, and Ponniyin Selvan is a five-volume novel. It's a very long story.
Yes.
Yeah. So previously, Mani sir always felt that it was very difficult to tell the story in 3 hours. So what he meant that I thank Rajamouli sir is that a story can be told in 2 films, and the audience will wait for the second film. That's what he meant, when he said that he would like to thank Rajamouli sir. It was that the idea that one story can be told in 2 films is what he meant by saying a thanks. That is one. Secondly, Baahubali is a is fantasy. Okay, it's not
Yeah,
a real
not a true
story.
story. Yeah.
Wherein not a
Yes, yes.
true story. Wherein
Mm.
uh, I'm not sure whether the characters are true.
Okay.
Ponniyin Selvan also, it's a novel by Kalki. It's a true
Mhm.
story where the characters are actually real.
Yes.
And there was a Arun Moli Varman. I mean, there was a Aditya Karikalan. So,
Yeah.
so Ponniyin Selvan is actually a real story. So the first thing that we have understood that we didn't want to create fantasy. You know,
Okay.
when we see the film, the characters have to look like they should be believable. Yet that yes, this type of characters could have been there
Yes.
1,000 years
Yes.
ago.
Mm.
Okay, we didn't want to. So you can't really compare because the two stories, the like Raja Raja Chola, there we know that this type of era existed
Exist.
in
Yes.
Telugu. But in
Mm-mm-mm.
Bahubali, we don't know. It's a total fantasy, you know. So there we can do anything.
Anything. Yeah.
Anything, yeah. So here, you know, we had to be very creative, like imaginative, you know, because it's that time. Plus,
Mm-hmm.
it had to be realistic,
Yes.
okay. And because it was Mani sir, it had to be 100% aesthetically appealing.
So yeah, adding to this, like one more thing is that okay, since this is being a periodic film, one of the major difference like you see from okay, of course, from commercial film and periodic film, what is that? Of course, like we have to stick with the designs, right? So what is that one major thing you feel personally?
So in this, in see, like more than stick with the designs, if you've really like if you've read the book, there is a description in the book as in like how Kundubai's hair was or how Nandini's
Yes,
hair was,
yes.
not the hairstyles. So in this particular movie, in the styling, especially of the women, the
Mm-hmm.
hairstyles played a very important role. And that was a very
Okay.
challenging part for us, you know, because we had to make jewelry for those hairstyles.
Okay, yeah.
If you've seen, you know, like we have
Yes,
given
yes, yes.
uh,
For the
making
bun
the
and all we have, yeah.
so making jewelry because first we had to get the hairstyle right. Then
Yes.
we had to do trial and error of getting the jewelry on that right. And jewelry,
Okay.
everything for the main characters and everybody we've used is all real jewelry. It's not, you
Yes,
know,
yes,
like
yes.
something fake. We've picked it up from somewhere and just put it like this or something. It's not like
Mm-mm-mm.
that.
Mm-mm. Mm.
So that way, that was a very challenging part, you know, wherein because we were given some sketches which were
Yes.
done
Mm.
by artists at that time,
Mm-hmm.
as in were taken from the book. So even Mani sir's teams, they used to he had a team where like how the hairstyle is going to look. So then the hairstyles were like you know experimented according to the
Yeah.
characters.
Mm.
So then we did
Mm-mm-mm.
the jewelry for those characters, for
Okay.
those hairstyles.
So yes, yes. So yeah, for the characters, we could see a distinguished thing. For instance, for Trisha, it is a princess look, and for Aishwarya Rai, it was a queen look, and we could clearly see. What were the extra steps you had taken, like just to distinguish these two? Because like they had a face off, and of course, when art, everything, art, architecture, everything compiles, and this jewelry, music, it just made a magic on the screen. So, what were the things you had planned before for the queen and the princess
Face
look?
off, yeah. So the face off scene was a very important scene, you know, where we had to we were given a brief, as in Nandini had to look better than Kundvai, and Kundvai had to look better than Nandini, you know. So
Nandini,
that
yes.
was, you know, so we couldn't do anything more than the other. Each one had to, you know, be complemented in their own space.
Yes, yes.
So, like you see, like you know, like if you see Nandini, you know, as a character, you know, she's somebody
Mm-hmm.
who was not very rich when, like you know, she was a poor priest's daughter, and you know, it's then
Mm-mm-mm.
that she has acquired. You know, so Nandini's look is more flamboyant. You know, like where you see a lot of, like she's wearing a lot of small pieces of jewelry, you know, to adorn here, like even a hip chains and you know things like that. wherein Trisha's look, she's like a born princess. So she for her we gave more bigger pieces, statement pieces, maybe 1 or 2 pieces, like not a lot of layering. It's not that she's wearing a lot of stuff, but statement pieces is what we gave Trisha. And of course, each one's hairstyle is what, like actually puts them totally apart, like, distinguishes between the characters. Even the clothes, Trisha's clothes are more structured, wherein Nandini's clothes are more flowing. So that's what we even tried to do in the jewelry. Like, Nandini, we gave 2, 3, 4 layers of, smaller pieces, where, like, they are layered one on the other. And for Trisha, like, we have given one big piece. And, like here, we've given very simple, just to not let the neck look bare. Because
Bare,
as
yeah.
Trisha doesn't need to show off. Because
Because
she's
she's
already
born.
a princess. She's already born. Wherein for Nandini, she has to show that, yes, I was not rich before, now I am. So, so that's the type of differentiation which we've done. And of course, we did a lot of look tests before the movie, like at least 3, 4, 4 look tests on each character. Like every time we would try at least 10 different looks, so almost 30, 40 looks were tried on each character, like what looked nice, which color suited. Like
okay, so this trial and error went up to how many months?
At least, we were approached in 2019 April.
Okay.
And of course, the shooting started in 2019 December.
19, yes.
19, so almost for 6 to 7 months we did trials. But that time also the trials for on the ladies were not over, because 2019 when we shot only the men. Like it was just, but after that COVID set in. So actually, trial and errors I think went on for a year. Of course, you can't say errors. You can't say errors, but trials went on for a year.
So yeah, different looks basically.
Yes.
So we spoke about the queen and the princess. Of course, we have to talk about the men also, because it was not like jewelry. It was just part of them only, to be very honest. And it is just, it just went along with their clothes. Nothing unusual also it felt. So what were the homework for the men?
So for the men, see, the main part is that for like Manisa's brief is that they have to be comfortable. It shouldn't happen that some piece of jewelry is there, which is hampering their movement. Because the men in the movie are mainly warriors. So many times they are, so, we've given statement pieces to them. Like you will see Aditya Karikalan wearing a couple of statement rings all the time. They will, because every king, there will be some piece which will be inherited to them. So like both the brothers, that is Vikram and Jayam Ravi, the characters that they are playing. So we have the Cholas, the emblem is the tiger, so we've given them signature pieces with tiger claws.
Yes.
Like, they are wearing, if you see, every time they are wearing one piece, which is like with a tiger claw. If you recollect, see, even if they are wearing a royal attire, that piece is there, but it will be layered with other pieces. Like, so even like with other men character, we've given signature pieces to everybody. Like, they are wearing their signature rings depending on their character, whether it's a fierce character, whether it's a timid character. So, those type of homework was done. Like, we've given some stone rings to them, which are like big stones, to show that maybe that was gifted. We've not done lot of, we've not tried to design and give smaller intricacy on the stones, because we don't think that type of detailing used to be done at that time. So, we've given, so the men have been given more robust pieces, but again, signature pieces, which tell a story, something which could be inherited. Then
and also just describe their character also.
Yes.
Wow. To be very honest, hats off for that. Seriously, because everything in them actually described them, and that is really.
So like if you see Vikram's character, like Aditya Karikalan, he is wearing a signature piece which is like 2 tiger claws. He is wearing them all the time. That is
Yes,
something
yes,
which is a part of him. He's wearing that all the time. If you
yes.
see Nandini's husband in the movie, so he is like a person. They say that he has gone to a lot of battles and all that. So
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah.
we've given him a signature piece of a bird, with very fierce eyes. He's wearing that
Mm-mm-mm.
all the time. So we've not given something. Now, when I tell you these things and you go back to see the movie, you'll see that he's wearing that all the time. So we didn't want to give men jewelry which would take away from them. It had to look like a part of them.
Part of them. Yes.
Part of them, yeah. So even like
Wow.
the belts that we have given them, in olden times, belts, today we wear vadyanams and belts only as style. But in
Style.
those days,
Yes.
they used to be made they used to be worn to hold the clothes together.
Clothes
In
together.
those
Yes.
times, there were not like elastics and like buttons and all that.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
if you see even the belts and all that we gave, like there's a
Mm-hmm.
scene where they show him changing Nandini's
Changing.
husband,
Yes, yes, yes.
and they remove the armor and they make him wear a belt
Belt.
because
Yes.
he needed jewelry.
Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm.
Like many pieces of jewelry in those days came actually from the need to have that piece over there. Of course,
Okay.
necklaces and all were worn for beauty, but things
Beauty.
like
Yeah.
belts, things like pieces in the hair, they came because they want the hair had to be held together. In those
Health.
times,
Yeah.
not have pins
Mm-mm-mm.
and rubber bands and all. We didn't have
Now.
all.
Mm-mm-mm-mm.
So,
Mm-mm.
like a lot of care was taken from that perspective that it should look like that.
I'm just recollecting how you have taken the homework. And one thing is that, of course, you have already told like it is almost more than a year. Like you took homework for everything, for every look and test. Of course, every character has its own difficulty. For you personally, which character was more difficult to just decide everything personally?
I don't think one character, but I feel being jewelers, I think the men's jewelry was more tasking, because we are used to
Okay,
making jewelry for women.
women.
So,
Yeah.
so like even, when we were trying to make the kadas, for the men to wear and all that,
Mm,
for us
mm,
to understand how thick they should be, how big they should be, making
mm-hmm.
armbands for the men and all that. I think men's jewelry was more difficult, than the, of course, women's jewelry, yeah, in terms of detailing, but that is something, which we know and we see nowadays. It's men's
Yes,
jewelry
yes.
which was, more difficult to make, yeah.
Difficult.
Not,
Yeah.
it was not difficult to make, it was difficult to decide what to make.
This, yeah. So this was one difficulty.
Decide.
Since this were real jewelry, what was the onset difficulty you had, like just to take care of them?
Yeah, so what happens is that, we are, first of all, we are not people who have worked in the movie industry first,
Moving.
so long hours, like this, like, shoots has to start at 6 in the morning. So the call time would be like 3:34, because the actresses were taking so much time to dress up, in
Yes,
those
yes.
elaborate settings and all that, So working those type of hours, like, of course, people at Madras Talkies and, the production house and all were very considerate to us because we are not from the industry and they're not used to working that hours.
Yeah,
Our
yeah,
people,
yeah.
because, like, it's not about hiring somebody to work for us. Whatever we have styled for the characters, we only have to put for the characters, right? If I've decided, that I'm going to have a earring which is going to be here, I have to be there, to make the person wear at least for the first time.
Yes,
So
yes, yes.
that way, I think those long hours, plus of course keeping the jewelry, I don't know if it was a blessing in disguise, but because of COVID, lot of shooting happened at Ramoji Film City, which is
Oh,
in
okay.
Hyderabad, and we are from
Yeah,
Hyderabad.
yeah,
So
yeah,
that
yeah.
way it was a little lot means like you
Easier.
can say a 40-50% of the shoot, which previously, we're thinking of going out and shoot because there was restriction of the number of people and all that.
People, yes, yes,
So
yes.
because of that restriction also, there was not a lot of crowd during the shoot. Otherwise, with such big characters, there will be a lot of other crowd which will be there. But because of COVID, there were people restrictions, a lot of people were coming and all. We had to be careful. We were all the time in PP suits and in masks and all that. But, that way, that crowd thing was not there, you know. So, and of course, we had to take a lot of insurances, and of course, that all paperwork and all that was a totally different ballgame. What we were doing, we only, yeah, we were not prepared
So,
for that because what was happening, like one character, like say
mhm,
Kundwai, at
mhm.
one particular time, she was wearing at least 20 to 25 pieces of jewelry. Small, like
Oh my
your
God.
bangles, rings, belts, anklets, necklaces, hair pieces, earrings, you know, ear attachments. So if you go to see in
Earrings.
on a particular day, if there are five characters, they are like 200 pieces of jewelry for those five characters. This I'm talking only
Oh
about the
my
main
God.
characters. We've done
I
jewelry
just
for
can't imagine, to
200
be
plus
very
more
honest.
characters.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It was a full production by itself. You know, we were like, I had like around 11 people on my team, and we were still not enough sometimes.
Yeah. So, to be very honest, I mean, even the common man just loved your jewelry, loved your work, everything as
Thank
such.
you. That's very kind of
So
you.
yeah, the best of compliment you've got till date from some celebrity or anybody as such in your personal life, who it was?
I think the best compliment I have got is from Mani sir, where he said, "Hope to work with you again." I think that
Oh,
was like,
sweet. Wow.
yeah. So I
Coming
don't
from a
know what
man of
to
few
tell.
words, it is actually a blessing, to be
Very,
very
very
honest.
few words, very few words. Because even when we were doing the look test with him, or you know, like, and in fact, after a couple of look tests, he had a lot of confidence in us. You know, like we just got a brief of what was the like, you know, what was the shot which was there, and you know, we would
Mhm.
be ready with the jewelry, with the character, and everything. So like the good part about Mani sir was that if he did not like something of the look
Mhm.
test, you know, he
Mhm.
would give a reason for that. And even if
Oh
he
wow.
liked something, he would give a reason for that. So, you know,
Wow.
like then if he likes something, like suppose if one necklace he likes, he says, I
Mhm.
like it because of the weight is falling, because of the length it is, because of the shape it is taking, you know, it is going with her. You know, he would give a reason for liking something and not liking something. So that really helps. You know,
Mhm.
so you know, like when he says that, okay, I like this because it is like this, so we know that, you know, we can follow this path.
Yes,
If he
yes.
says I don't like it, you know, because like I remember once we had done something piece for the head, you know, where you know, there were pieces like this, like, you know, they
Yeah.
had gaps in the middle. So he said that
Mhm.
I don't like this because it is having gaps, you know.
Okay.
So we know that, okay, fine, he's not liking it because of the gaps and not because of the shape or because of the color or because
Yes.
of the stones used in it. So that really helped us a lot in developing every character. Otherwise, today, you know, when like, you know, like you've asked me many questions, which a couple of questions, you know, which people have not asked me, but today when I look back and I understand that if he had not given us that type of input, it would have been very difficult for us to uh, characterize each person so differently.
Yes.
Yeah, so
So yeah.
that feedback
So
that he gave us, you know, was
best
very,
of all.
yeah.
Yeah, so just keeping aside Ponniyin Selvan as such, I mean, like the work you did in the movies, one thing I personally liked a lot, of course, so many liked being a girl itself. I just was admiring Trisha in audio launch. Oh my God, she was like beautiful. And not just audio launch, various other promotions, she wore your jewelry, just flaunted away, and wow, she was like wow only. So for the promotional work, working with Trisha, and her looks were awesome. So on that.
So, I think Trisha now has total confidence on us, and I can say total confidence on me. She just
Uh-huh.
like Eka's team takes the clothes to her and they send me just the dress, and I send only one option. And
Oh wow.
she just wears it, you know, except if, you know, if she's finding it heavy or something. But you know,
Uh-huh.
like I compliment her every time, you know, I message her. I'm in fact 2 days back the promotional launch was in Hyderabad where I met her, and you know, she just says, okay, fine, show me what Pratiksha has given, you know, that's just what she says, and she wears it off. She's like,
Wow.
I think, I mean, I would say I would be biased to say that, But I think I think she's very confident of what we are giving her in terms
Yes,
of the jewelry. And I think that even like, and she's very confident wearing it, So I think she
yes.
comes from a place of a lot of confidence. So I think
And just pulls it off like a queen.
pulls it off like a born princess.
Yeah, like a born princess. So yeah, thank you so much. Of course, you've given us so much knowledge on how the background work actually was,
Yeah.
and being new, and of course, this would have been your learning also, and hearing
Yeah,
from
yeah,
you, it is for
lots.
us also a learning.
We have
Before
learned.
we wind
We
up,
have, yeah.
do you have any few words to say?
Yeah, so like when we were going through the whole process, I was like, trust me, there were times when I used to say, "Oh my God, what have I got myself into?" Because there was so much pressure from every place, and plus, see, with COVID, it had changed a lot of, and like we were prepared for this project for like 1.5 years, and it went on for 3 years. So
Yeah.
like I was thinking, what have I got myself into? And the day I'd gone to Bombay, I'd seen the trailer before, and I'd gone to
Mhm.
Bombay for one promotion where we saw the trailer on the big screen. And when I
Mhm.
was looking at the screen, I said, "Oh my God, what have we got ourselves into?" Like the same sentence, but I said it with two such different emotions.
Different tone. Yeah. Yes.
Like, and that was like, like every day I would tell my husband, like, because he's the one who looks into the designing and the production and all that. I used to tell my kids, I said, if ever I have a divorce with your dad, it will be because of this movie. So we are fighting every day over it, like, because like we were having so much of pressure of shooting more than,
Pressure. Yes.
pressure, like finishing at 11 in the night and then again going in the morning at 3 and like,
Three
it
in the
was like,
morning. Yeah.
so, and like I'm telling you, uh, whenever we would go, like, even if there was a 5 o'clock call time and we would reach at 4:30, Manisa would be there.
Oh wow.
So,
Oh
like he
wow.
was so prompt, like, of course, yeah. So, yeah. So, see, shooting takes time, like sometimes the set is not ready and all that, but everybody, like even whether it was Aishwarya Rai or Trisha or something like that, when they say 4:30, they're there at 4:30. So, that way, I think the
Wow.
type of discipline and all that we've learned from all these great actors is just phenomenal.
Wow. So thank you so much, ma'am. Like you have just told us the journey, and that is actually a learning for us. I
Thank
wish
you
you
very
all
much.
the very best
Thank
for many more movies, and of course
Yeah.
to just bring in more collection of yours. Of course, we'll just witness the beauty of yours.
Thank you.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Yeah.